What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Thursday, December 23rd episode of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by No House Advantage. All new users to No House Advantage receive a $25 deposit bonus using the code Awesemo. Today, we're going to take a look at 5 of the best tournament options on FanDuel. Keep in mind, there's a lot of news that's going to change throughout the day. A lot of guys in and out of COVID protocols, a lot of injuries that we have to deal with. Ownership projections will change. Player projections will change. Be sure to tune into the Deeper Dive show and the Live Before Lock show leading up to tonight's slate lock for more up-to-date information. But as things stand right now, we're going to take a look at 5 of the best tournament options on FanDuel. Not necessarily the highest percentage plays. This is a big slate. There's a lot of very, very good plays. They're going to get a lot of ownership, but some ways that maybe you can differentiate a little bit, or just some good plays that are still projected to go a little bit under-owned. Coming in at number 5, Jackson Hayes, $3,500. He has a 10% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's only projected for about 1% ownership right now. Even if that ownership projection increases a little bit, there's plenty of room there for Hayes to still be a strong contrarian option. The reason he looks appealing on FanDuel is that he's power forward eligible as opposed to being a center. There's a ton of opportunity cost at center tonight, not quite as much at power forward. Hayes is likely to back up Guillermo Hernan-Gomez with Jonas Valanciunas sidelined, but there's a lot of volatility here. Hernan-Gomez is awful defensively. Hayes can do a better job on that end of the floor. It's very easy for players that are massive liabilities on the defensive end to get benched by their coaches when they're pushed into playing more minutes. That's not the most likely scenario, but even in the most likely scenario, you could get 20 minutes or so from Jackson Hayes, who is the minimum salary. And then if he plays well, if Hernan-Gomez plays poorly, you potentially get more minutes. So as long as the ownership on Hayes is low, he looks like a strong value option in tournaments. Number 4, Montrezl Harrell, $5,300, taking on the New York Knicks. He also has power forward eligibility. He also is projected for about 1% ownership, and he has about a 9% chance of being in the optimal lineup. We know that Harrell and Daniel Gafford are likely to split minutes at center. If Harrell plays well, he can get more. If Gafford plays well, Harrell plays less, but it's certainly someone that, in 24 minutes or so projects reasonably well at 5,300. If he does have a good game and can get to 28 to 30 minutes, he has the potential to be a very useful piece in tournaments at low ownership. Number 3, LaMelo Ball, $9,600. One of several very high upside point guards in this price range, but he's only getting 6% ownership, so he's a little bit lower owned than a couple of the other point guards that we're going to mention. He has a tough matchup against Denver, but one thing that stands out about Ball is that he played about 33 minutes in his last game. That in and of itself was good to see, just because it means that his minutes are ramping up after a prolonged absence, but he also dealt with some foul trouble in that game. And if you look at his rotations, it's pretty likely that had he been able to avoid foul trouble, he would have gotten to 36 minutes or so. I think it's likely he gets there tonight if this game is competitive against the Nuggets. Not a very appealing matchup, but a very good offensive player, very good, DFS producer with a 13% chance of being in the FanDuel optimal, only 6% ownership. Number 2, staying in that same price range, DeJounte Murray is $9,900 in a great matchup against the Lakers. He's projected for 18% ownership with a 24% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He has point guard and shooting guard eligibility, so that's really nice because it means that you could potentially roster him alongside LaMelo Ball and just get a ton of upside from those two guys. Murray's a very good rebounding guard, which helps maintain his consistency. He has about a 25% usage rate. He gets a lot of assists. He's likely to play 36 minutes or so. Just looks like a very strong option at this price point. And then rounding it out with a more popular player, but still someone that looks very good at his salary, Stephen Curry, $9,700, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Only point guard eligible, 28% ownership, but a 31% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's not suited for FanDuel scoring system because there is no 3-point bonus, but this salary is very inexpensive for one of the highest upside players in the league. He's capable of just getting hot and putting up massive games. He can score 50 actual points at any real time. He should see some increased usage tonight as well, with Golden State a bit shorthanded. So he's popular, but also going under-owned. So to recap, the top 5 tournament options on FanDuel: number 5, Jackson Hayes; number 4, Montrezl Harrell; number 3, LaMelo Ball; number 2, DeJounte Murray; and number 1, Stephen Curry.